They got to stop the San Franciscos and the Atlantas of the world. And in that division, if they're going to go anywhere, and those are the playoff teams from the West, so the Saints are going defense. Now let's, with Tampa Bay on the clock again, and this has become the Tampa Bay Bucks television network, with all the picks that they've had in the first and second and now third round. Let's head back down toward the sombrero with Andrea Kramer. Andrea?
Well, actually, Chris, they haven't had a pick in 36 selections. As you remember, they got rid of their last selection to San Diego for their first-round pick next year. At this point, they have got to address needs. The two main needs, cornerback and offensive tackle. The two guys I think they're considering a tackle, Hunter Goodwin from Texas A&M and Keith Conlon from Penn State. That's the best value that they can get. Have had a lot of discussions in the war room about value, the kind of player that's there that merits being taken at this selection. Remember, they have the first pick in the 4th round tomorrow, 2 4th-round selections overall. So I think they're looking at a tackle right now. Chris, back to you in New York.
All right, Andrea, thank you. As now you did remind me, we get a little punchy here in our, as we're entering our finish of our 9th hour of coverage of the NFL draft. Upshaw and Jones, the defensive players in the first round for Tony Dungy, and a player that we all love, Mike Alstott, the fullback from Purdue. So now it's Tampa up, followed by Pittsburgh, and then Carolina. We'll talk with Carolina's top draft pick, Tim Biakabatuka, a running back from Michigan, when we return here to the draft in New York.
It's a major breakthrough. Formula 2001 Super Protectant provides the most advanced protection against fading, drying, and cracking. And Formula 2001 has more active shining ingredients than Armor All. But what if your car's surfaces are already faded? See how Formula 2001 restores and protects vinyl, rubber, and leather. With more active shining ingredients than Armor All, Formula 2001 is the Super Protectant. And for 12 months of protective shine, get Finish 2001 car polish.
This is about the virtual office, about breaking the chains, stretching the boundaries, and making the world your workplace, about taking your business everywhere and anywhere, about paging, laptops, cell phones, the internet, and conferencing. And it's not conversation or speculation. This is about how one company can give you the help, hardware, and software to make your virtual office a reality. This is about how far you can go once you know how. Network MCI, that's how.
What is the NFL doing on ESPN and ESPN2 in the middle of April? Very important business. It's the NFL Draft from first pick to last. Complete coverage of all the draft day decisions and analysis on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Net Sports Zone. Live remote broadcast from team headquarters and war rooms throughout the day. Continues tomorrow on ESPN starting at 11 a.m. and continuing on ESPN2 at 1. Continuous coverage on ESPN Net Sports Zone.
Stephen Conley to Pittsburgh. Chris.
And we are back at where are we? The theater at Madison Square Garden in New York. Tampa Bay has just selected a different player than was mentioned. Donnie, Abraham, Martin, and John. Well, they didn't select all three of them. Donnie Abraham, cornerback, East Tennessee State. And Pittsburgh has just taken Stephen Conley, who's, now there's an interesting player. Stephen Conley from Arkansas, the linebacker, Mel, the brother of Mike Conley, the triple jump champion in the 1992 Olympics, and of course a hopeful to compete again in the Olympics in Atlanta. So if you're looking for athletic genes, Pittsburgh just got one.
It's a perfect team for Pittsburgh. You know, for Pittsburgh, a perfect player. You look at a guy that can come off the corner, and Jason Gilden's probably going to see a lot of playing time for Kevin Green, and they like those guys that can play that 3-4 outside linebacker spot. That's what's ideally suited for Stephen Conley. 4-3, no. Would have had to be a situational pass rusher, but he's a big kid. He's added some weight. He's up to about 235 now. We saw him in the Fiesta Bowl do a great job getting after, in their SEC championship game, doing a great job getting after Danny Warfel. He's tall, he's angular, explosive off the corner, runs a legit 4.5, so when he does separate, he can close and get down the line of scrimmage and make a play. And certainly for a team like Pittsburgh that utilizes those outside linebackers so well in that 3-4 scheme, that's the position that best suits a guy like Conley. See him again here when he's on an up position coming after the quarterback from Auburn. And that's his forte. Like I said, he really disturbed and distracted Danny Warfel in that SEC championship game. Actually kept Arkansas in the game going into the third quarter. It was all Stephen Conley with his ability to harass that quarterback.
We've just had Carolina's pick, and again, I just am intrigued by their picks. They've just picked Winslow Oliver, running back, who was described by me, Mel, and Joe, as several, again, I use the term bird dogs, as a quote, real interesting player. How come?
I'll tell you, he's a scat back. He's a kind of a Dave Mega type. Real strong, 5'7", but super strong. He had a great hula ball. He was the MVP in that game. Of course, he had some injuries that he worked through at Nebraska, but this guy can get outside and he can fly. Catches the football. Great return, man. So he's not going to be your featured guy. He's going to be a guy that's going to complement the featured back, Tim Biakabatuka. And when you look at what he's going to have to do in their offense, ideally suited. He's going to be a mega-type situational performer. When he gets into the broken field, boy, he's got moves, he's got elusiveness, and then he turns on the jets, and it's all over. Legit 4.43 speed on any track, Chris.
5'7", 181. Let me just give you some numbers here, just because this is interesting. You love adding these up. Rushing last year, 915 yards, 5.6 yards a clip. Receiving, 228 yards. Kickoff returns, 666 yards, almost 32 yards a kickoff return. Punt returns, 101 yards of that. You add all of those yards up, 1,910 yards, almost 2,000 yards doing everything. An interesting player indeed, but a guy who Carolina picked a long, long while ago, Tim Biakabatuka. He was here in New York with us. He's taken that nonstop to Charlotte. He's with our Tom Jackson now at the Carolina headquarters. And this is a guy, Tommy, that certainly Carolina had their eyes on. They weren't sure they would get him. It fell the actual way they wanted to, and he's now Tommy. Tom?
Well, Chris, I certainly know that Carolina was worried about getting Timmy. You just got to look at your new teammate right there. First, your feelings about coming here to Carolina.
I know they're an expansion team, and they did pretty good last year. You know, they went 9-7, and I'm just excited, man, to be here and to have an opportunity to help them improve their record.
Timmy, what do you think are the strengths of your game? And I know that I've talked to some of the coordinators around the league and talked to Bill Poley, and he feels so strongly about the things you do well. What do you feel you do best?
I think I'm a competitor. I think that's what they're looking for, somebody who's going to step on the field and give his 100% every game. And I think that's what I bring to the table. I got other assets as far as quickness, speed, and strength, but I think my biggest asset is my competitiveness and my work ethic.
And the toughness. Nobody's ever carried the ball as much as you carried the ball this year for your team. I mean, that must make you feel, in terms of toughness, that there's no question that you can carry the ball here 20, 25 times a game every game.
I think I'm tough, but I think it's my competitive nature that makes me do that on the field. So, you know, I think I'm a competitor. I mean, I'm a step on the field and give my 100% every time I get the ball.
Thank you, Tim. Let's go to Chris Fowler back in the studio.
All right, Tom, thank you. Mike Godfrey, let's put to rest the question about toughness in Tim Biakabatuka once and for all, huh?
There is no question. Call Ohio State's coaches. Carried 37 times against them. There's no question about toughness.
And he's a positive thinker. The team was 7-9, not 9-7, as he said. But, hey, maybe they'll turn around, be a winning team with him. And also now with Winslow Oliver out of New Mexico. Like a lot of guys who piled up huge numbers in the WAC, he really has a desperate, burning desire to show that those aren't inflated numbers, that he is for real. You saw him at the Hula Bowl.
Well, I had him in the Hula Bowl. I'll tell you what, he is really an exciting running back. He can run the toss sweep. He's really excellent at that. He has great hands. And I think what Carolina is going to benefit the most from him is a kick returner. He can return punts, return kickoffs, and he's electric. And he's got those wide eyes. I mean, he's excited about playing the game.
He was the difference maker in that Hula Bowl game, sending the East or West coach Lee Corso to a second consecutive defeat. A lot of guys have beaten Lee Corso over the years. That does not predict great success in the NFL, but Winslow Oliver is certainly somebody that Coach Corso will never forget. Back to New York, Chris.
All right, Chris, thank you. And if you pardon the singing, these are Carolina's picks thus far. Because in their mind, they've gone to Carolina. Tim Biakabatuka grew up in Zaire. Well, he was born in Zaire, moved to Montreal, spoke French. Played college ball in the United States, now is learning a Southern accent. It's an interesting trip. Mohammed Biakabatuka.
Look who's winning at McDonald's. Joanne Pearson won an IBM Aptiva computer. Mike White won a Disney video. Come play the Disney Video Masterpiece Collection Trivia Challenge today at McDonald's. You could be next. Look who's winning at McDonald's. Pamela Donnelly won $1 million. Jerry Kenny won $100,000. Come play the Disney Video Masterpiece Collection Trivia Challenge today at McDonald's. You could be next.
If you passionately believe in what you're doing, you can achieve almost anything in life. We can have an idea in the bath in the morning and have it up and working by the afternoon. We like to think of Virgin as a flexible company, and I think American Express is very flexible as well.